On 22 October 2022, all roads lead to Harare for the first edition of the Creative Reproductive Health Arts for Transformation, or yes, CRAFT Festival. CRAFT Festival brings together all provincial chess winners in music, drama, poetry, and public speaking.
I'm a Part 3 law student at the University of Zimbabwe. I am an activist, a student activist, and I'm more into human rights work. That's what I do. So I work mostly in the civil society. What I enjoy doing most is creating awareness, impacting knowledge. That's what I do most of the times. And that's also one of the reasons why then I decided to partake in the chess competition. So I was born in Mtare. I grew up with my mom and my siblings. I've got 2 siblings, Bushebenkosi and Anesu.
Bridget lost her mother to stomach cancer at a very early age. So yes, obviously you can imagine it was a painful thing for her. Must have been. You could see, you could tell then. I think sometimes people are affected in 2 different ways. You can choose to be affected by that sort of event or that sort of influence in your life in 2 different ways. You can either let it really crumble you, you collapse from its effects, or you take strength from it.
I think where I get most of my enthusiasm in writing mostly is from my mom, because she was also a writer. The thing that moves me most in life, that then makes me want to keep putting effort in things I do, I guess I get the motivation from my siblings, because they really look up to their big sister. So I've always tried to then set that image for them, to show them that, you know what, you gotta be go-getters, you gotta get whatever that you need in life.
She's got a certain drive, which I'm sure you picked it up. She's had that drive from a very young age. And I think, and only thank God, Kuti, I think that's calamity in her life. She took it and turned it around, and it actually made her, or she drew strength from it. So she's always been this strong type of girl, even when she was young, very assertive, and also very much aware of her environment, of her rights, even when she was still at school.
I did my O-level at Jonas Secondary School. Jonas Secondary School is in Seke Rural, Missionland East. And I did my A-level at Zengeza 1 High. So I've always been somebody who loves speaking, and I believe that I'm somebody who is confident enough. I have held the post of Junior Member of Parliament for Seke Rural, Junior Senator for Seke Rural. I've been the head girl at Jonas from Form 3.
She would keep doing these discussions, having these debates, and what or not, I'm actually learning more probably from her than she who was actually asked me the questions.
I believe that, like, the whole me is just somebody who enjoys being involved in community things, in community outreach, community building, community development. So I'm also a founder of Junior Court Council, which is an organization that is aimed at creating constitutional awareness on the legal frameworks that govern our country.
If some people, when they are aware of their rights, they become very arrogant, they become full of themselves, headstrong. Or some people sometimes actually do manage to strike a balance. You know you're still a child, you still have to interact with a lot of people in your life. So in as much as you have rights, those come with responsibilities as well. So Bridget, once again, I'm happy and grateful to say, is in the latter category.
I wasn't so much of a sport person. I was much of the debater, things like that. That's what I did most of my high school part. But I've got a great interest in swimming.
I just wish obviously, like she said, this poetry performance itself, oral poetry is new to her. So I just wish that she can bring the same confidence that she has more written poetry to the stage. Once she set her mind on something and she decides, this is the right thing to do, or this is the best thing for me to do, she would try by all means to make or to push so that chino ichocho chinobuda it's successful. Anokwanisa kuwana zvaari kuda kuwana ipapo aiwe munhu anogona kutaura. You don't need to be confused about what she wants. She anogona kuisa that point across even from a young age. Akataura kana ane chaari kuda anokuudza to the point chekuti you don't have too many questions.
Because like I've been a speaker, I do public speaking, I do debating, but also venturing into poetry, I did it that time and it came out well. I won. And so when I was going through my mentorship sessions, that's when my mentor actually said, no, you know what, I actually figured you can actually perform very well. So, you know, as law students, we usually spend most of the times trying to cover up. But if I'm not doing that, so I'm like involved a lot in the civic space. So most of my free time, then I spend it trying to, you know, whether it's writing proposals, whether it's figuring out who I can, you know, engage with and things like that. I enjoy movies a lot. Yeah, I like really, I enjoy movies a lot to the extent that Sekuru used to say, hey, did you even study or you watch movies? So I'm always telling her, I get that thing, that motivation, and I learn a lot of things from movies. So in my rest times, I guess mostly I'll be watching movies. That's what I do, besides, you know, all the work around activism, all the work around creating awareness or studying. My feelings towards the Marriage Act are then that I think as Zimbabwe, we are really getting a lot of misinformation pertaining to the real interpretation of that act. It's a very progressive piece of legislation because it's really closing a huge gap that was in our community, especially when it comes to, first of all, it's protecting the children and also the mothers. When it comes to my own community, Chitumbiza, for so long, there's a lot that is being said about people in Chitumbiza. I still remember when we were coming, one of you guys actually said, is it true that in Chitumbiza you can get soap somewhere? It's then because of the poverty that is in Chitumbiza. That's then what makes people come up with these things. You know what? Kana watozofunga tea zvemso wacho kaenda nekapu unoisirwa maspoon 3 in sugar. For the craft festival, so initially I did a poem which was I Rest in Peace, right? Which was depicting the life of a young girl who fell pregnant at university, and because her parents didn't understand it, she then had to commit suicide and then she died. So I was doing that whole poem as a ghost, by the way. But then this time around, I decided to change things a bit. And I would say I've written like the free write part of it, but I'm still working on the poem structure part of it because I was telling my mentor that for me, when it comes to poetry, I'm not somebody who can do that poetry whereby you just stand and talk. I like to bring in picture. I like to bring in excitement because I believe that, especially when it comes to us youth, if you really want to capture our attention, make it fun. It's cold. No, I'm cold. No, I'm dying. I am dying. I'm dying. I am dying. Let me take you back to how it all began.
The sky be the limit. I know she's got what it takes. If she, like I said, she's very assertive, so I know that if she puts her mind to it, she can come out tops. I have no doubt about that.
First of all, it's congratulations to all of you for making it. We made it and we should be really, really happy. And so from your girl here, Bridgetti Mambondiani, you should really expect fireworks, because I'm all in, I'm all prepared. And my advice to you is, let's have fun. We're going to have fun. Yes, it's a competition. A competition has its outcomes and stuff like that. And I hope that, like myself, you're also all preparing fire pieces that are going to speak on our thematic areas.